Everybody that I've gotten the chance to work with, I want to say thank you. Every time that I get to walk into a wrestling show right now, I am one lucky guy. Without Jason Rumble, none of this would be possible. Bo Douglas was my first trainer who taught me the ins and the outs of wrestling. I wasn't supposed to be a referee. I was supposed to be a professional bowler. So A.R. Fox and I had a big rivalry in Beyond Wrestling. Matter of fact, he got me suspended. Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes have wrestled 3 times in their career. I've been lucky enough to do 2. Some of my biggest matches in my career came there. There's so many of them, man. That I have so much fun. Beyond Wrestling is a whole different character, man. I was in some of the biggest matches in Beyond Wrestling history. Yes, actually. I was supposed to have a match years ago. You ready for this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, hosted by Coach C, Chris Sanders, this is Best for Business.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Best for Business. I'm so pumped for this one. Kevin Quinn, man, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for having me, man. I'm looking forward to this big time, man. Big
I'm
time.
so pumped for this one. I told you when I started going to shows at like 10, 12 years old, you're senior officials for different places. So the fact that all these years later, I'm 20, and the fact that I can interview you, man, the honor's all mine. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I'll be honest with you, 59 to still be doing this. I'm a blessed guy.
Yeah. Absolute legend in New England. So I'm curious for you for your journey. Pro wrestling, obviously a different time when you got involved. But what was it about wrestling that made you want to get involved originally?
Well, I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid, and I sold janitorial supplies for a lot of years. And long story short, I was selling janitorial supplies to a guy named Gino Martino, who was pretty well known in this area. And I looked over to my right, and there was a wrestling poster on the wall. And that's kind of a little bit how it started, but the real way it started is in the gym years ago. I met a guy named Jason Rumble.
Mhm.
Long story short, we were going for a machine. I met him. There was a ring in the leg room area, so that's the first time I ever saw a wrestling ring. And then I started going to shows, and way back when there was a company, APW now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Years ago, it was called Wrestling Star Wars.
Okay.
Okay. So I used to go there with my son and my buddy Dave Ratty all the time. So I started doing a little security there. It was called Kevin Steele Security. So, long story short, one night they pulled me right out of the crowd and asked me to ref a match. And it was a street fight with Big Woody, who's passed away, and Joe Moakley. And this is where it all gets good. Okay. Now I'm doing the match and whatever, and Big Woody has a chair and he goes to, excuse me, a trash can. He goes to swing the trash can. And what does the green guy do? Whoa, you can't do that. He says, Greenie, get the F out of the way. And Chris, it all clicked.
Wow.
I've been watching wrestling all my life, and now I'm in a wrestling ring, and I did this match, and then it clicked. So I started doing a little bit more reffing. I started reffing there a little bit. I started going in NCW and a few other places. And that's kind of how it started. But before that, I wasn't supposed to be a referee. I was supposed to be a professional bowler. My
Wow.
father, my father ran bowling alleys my whole life, and I was in the Junior Olympics and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I took a little turn, and we didn't go down the bowling alleyway, but we took that ref career, and then we joined the Bell Time Club, and we learned how to be a better ref. And we just kept moving and moving and moving. So getting
Wow.
into refereeing was not a goal. It just kind of happened. And you know what? Not for nothing. Just happened to be a little bit good at it.
Yeah, I'm curious when you talk bowling now. You're in New England, so I used to bowl, but you're talking like not duck pin, I assume, right?
No, I'm talking 10 pin.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, my father ran 10 pin bowling around the New England area for years, and
Nice.
he's a very well-known guy, so it helped me out a lot. But
Was it hard
I,
to finally give up on bowling? Because obviously that's something you're pursuing, but you love pro wrestling, so how was it for you?
it was tough because I'm actually, a lot of people might not know this. You might not know this. I'm a 35-year recovering alcoholic.
Wow.
And yeah, and I just took a different turn, and bowling just, we never got back to bowling. But the good thing about bowling is versus wrestling is the older you are in bowling, that's okay. There's different levels. Like refereeing, come on, I'm a little aged out, but I'm still going, you
Yeah.
know?
Wow. So I'm curious when you look at your career, originally when you're starting to get involved in wrestling before you get thrown into ref, do you have any goals with wrestling or you just want to be involved because you like it so much?
When I first got into it,
Yeah, before you got asked to referee that one match.
no, I had no goals. I
Okay.
had no aspirations to get in. I just something that I always liked and I always loved it. And I always wanted to know what was behind that damn curtain.
Wow.
My whole career, and there's not a lot behind the curtain.
Yeah. So when you look at
Yeah.
your career, I'm curious, what would you consider like your first big opportunity in wrestling?
Oh, hands down, I got to go to Canada.
Nice.
Bo Douglas and Jason Rumble took me up to mainstream wrestling with Devin Chittick. I got to meet Jeremy Prophet and Narcissus Saint and my buddy Adam Jack Pelly. And I spent a lot of time up in Canada. In a very short time, I reffed over 150 matches up there. And I honestly think that's what excelled my ref career and made me maybe a little bit better because anything you're good at, it's always about reps.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Canada was great, and I learned how to live on the road and stuff. Bo Douglas taught me everything about being on the road and all that
Mhm.
type of stuff. It was a great opportunity.
What was a day in the life for you in Canada?
Oh, we woke up in the morning. Me and Rumble went to the gym every morning,
Mhm.
and it was so funny, man, because he went in there like we were from the WWE, and like we never paid for a gym membership. I
Wow.
mean, Rumble could. I don't know if you know Jason Rumble, but he
Yeah.
could. You know him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yeah.
Uh, so we got to work out every morning, and then we'd go back, we'd plan the day, then we'd go. We had to do all the setup and the breakdown, and we'd do that, and we'd load the truck back up. We'd go to a hotel, we'd go to the next town, do the same thing. And I think the first tour was 18 days, and I think the second tour was like 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
But it was a heck of an opportunity. You realize wrestling's a brotherhood, right? It's a
Yeah.
brotherhood and a sisterhood. It's we're all family, and you're supposed to take care of each other out there. That's what it's all about, you know?
Yeah. When you talk Canada, is there anything that you think stood out about the Canada wrestling scene compared to down here?
Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I just think the talent might be a little bit better down here. If
Okay.
I mean, I gotta be careful saying that one. That could get me in trouble. No, I just think, but at the point I was so new that, I got to meet some people like, was it Riddick Bowe? I don't know, some big guy up there I got to meet. And it was just a good time. It was a great experience. Great
Nice.
experience.
Yeah, when I look at your career, your resume keeps going and going. When I talk to any wrestlers, your name's always recommended. So I'm curious for you. There's a bunch of companies want to ask you if you have a favorite match or moment. The first one, is there anything that sticks out from Beyond Wrestling?
Oh, Beyond Wrestling, but we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Uh, Beyond Wrestling, and this is a shoot, as they say in wrestling, like American Rhinos tonight, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's
Yeah,
in
tonight.
it's in Providence, Rhode Island.
Cranston. Yeah.
Yeah, Cranston. Beyond Wrestling was born at the Fed Music Hall in Rhode Island. And this is just my opinion. There's no better venue that Beyond's ever been at. There's no better vibe that Beyond's ever been than that. My favorite Beyond Wrestling matches, there's a ton of them, man. Dijak and Keith Lee had a heck of a rivalry. Those are two of my best. Chris Dickinson, he's one of my favorite. They called him the Dirty Daddy. They called me the Dirty Grandpa. Yeah. I mean, I got to work with Orange Cassidy a lot, John
Nice.
Silver, Brian Cage. I mean, it's a who's who. I'll tell you a little quick story. Chris Dickinson worked Kevin Steen, who's
Mhm.
Kevin Owens now. There was an ankle lock put on and whatnot. So after the match, Steen comes on. He goes, "Oh, dude, my foot. Can you undo my shoe?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I'm panicking because it's him, and I'm trying to get his shoe off. Finally, I get his shoe off, and he gets up. He pats me on the shoulder. He says, "Thanks, kid," and walks back to the back.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got to work with Samoa Joe there a couple times against Warbeck
Nice.
Hansen. That was really cool. Got to work with the Young Bucks there. I probably screwed up more super kicks from the Young Bucks than
Wow.
anybody. Yeah, I wasn't the best bumper. Anybody will tell you that, but refs aren't supposed to bump clean,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm curious for you. I don't want to put you on blast, but the Beyond Wrestling early days, especially when you were there were so many people that became stars. Was there anyone early on that you knew right away they were going to be a star?
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it written all over him. And
Nice.
you know what? Not for nothing. People might not know this. He's probably one of the best wrestlers on the AEW roster. I mean, wrestlers.
Yeah.
And he's just a great guy. Like when you talk to him, he's just nice. He's down to earth. One of my favorite people there too is Darby Allin.
Nice.
I worked with Darby Allin a lot. I was picking Darby Allin up at airports before anybody even knew who Darby Allin was. I heard Darby Allin's theme song before anybody did.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. Weren't you a part of the original, the Uncharted Territory days?
I was. I did the first Uncharted Territories. I did it for 33 weeks.
Was Uncharted Territory like the first time in your career where you were doing episodic weekly stuff, or was there something prior?
No, no, that was the first time. And I'll tell you, going to Worcester every week from where I live, that was a pain in the backside
Yeah.
because it was just trafficy and whatever. But once I got there and you start talking to all the people, Beyond is different than any other
Yeah.
company. And the reason that they run usually big shows Friday night, I'm blown away by that because usually it's on Sundays because they get everybody from around the country on different shows. So that's the only day you can get everybody in the same room.
Hmm.
But Beyond Wrestling is a whole different character, man. And I tell you what, I feel that I had a lot to do with help building it. I was
Yeah.
in some of the biggest matches in Beyond Wrestling history. It's just Beyond Wrestling is like it's up here with me.
Yeah, I'm curious for your perspective as a referee. What was it like to be a part of Uncharted Territory? Obviously, a lot of indies run every Saturday or Sunday once a month, but for Beyond, every single week. So, is there a storyline or a moment or something that you got to be a part of that sticks out for you?
Just, I'll tell you, it was so every week
Yeah.
just a great time. Yeah, and it's hard. Like this is what I tell all the new kids and anybody who's watching this. If you're new, grab yourself a big notebook, right? Like I'm a little older, so I had to
Yeah.
write some cheat notes. Write every showdown that you do. Write every match that you ref, and write down every time if there's, say, a celebrity or a star on the show. Because I'm telling you, in 3 months you won't remember it.
Wow. So, wait, do you have the number of how many shows you've done?
I don't. I
Oh,
don't. Unfortunately, that was something, and it's something that I wish that I did.
yeah.
I mean, I probably reffed over 1,500 matches, probably more than that. And I have had a blessed career. I mean,
Nice.
Chaotic Wrestling still lets me show up. I mean, I'm in Florida on hiatus because we're taking care of a family situation
Mhm.
down here. And Chase Del Monte from Chaotic Wrestling. I don't want to blow his image, but he's been very nice, very good with me and
Nice.
very understanding. Yeah.
How did your opportunity for Chaotic start?
Wow, that's a good story. That's a good one. Do you know the answer to it?
No.
That this is a good one. So I was on a show. Um, do you remember was it MWF with Dan Marati and
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a
LA?
while. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I was on an MWF show, right?
Uh-huh.
And two local refs. They provided the belts for the show, if you will, like all the title belts for the
Mhm.
show. So I was on the show and I refed. My first match was with Playboy Jimmy Malonis, and it was against McCool. But for whatever reason, he didn't show up. So I went out there and they look at me, they go, just ring the bell and count to 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So we go to the back and Playboy Jimmy Malonis and says, hey, Quinn had that, come on, that wasn't a match. Let him have my next match. Like, nope, nope, not gonna let him have it. And Jimmy Malonis like, I'm the worker, I'm telling you, like, let him have it. Nope.
Wow.
So I went to lunch with my son. I'll make this as quick as I
That's
can.
fine.
I went to lunch with my son and I come back and they're yelling at me because I missed a ref meeting. There was no ref meeting, right? And he says, hey man, you got to stop that. I need you up in security. I need you up in security. I'm like, what? So, all right, whatever. So I get dressed. I go up to security. You ready for this? Hardcore Holly, Devon Dudley, Bobby Lashley. I happen to know I know Devon Dudley.
Mhm.
So I went over to Devon and Devon was like, come here. He goes, what's up? I said, the promoter told me to come up here and do security, right? So he called Hardcore Holly over and he goes, dude, they sent him up here for security. And he said, Hardcore looked at me, said, the promoters, I don't want to swear, but the promoter's messing with you. And I'm like, okay. So I went back down and I said to the promoter, I go, dude, come on, you're sending me up to security. The friggin' animals up there. I go, what's going on? He goes, you need to leave. I said, what? He goes, you need to leave. You missed the ref meeting. The other two refs aren't happy with you. So I went storming towards the two refs and I was stopped. I'm not going to say by who, but I was stopped. And I was told to go home. I don't have any power here, but I do have power someplace else. So I had been going to the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. I'd been doing ring crew for Chaotic. So one night I'm doing ring crew from Chaotic and Chase Del Monte walks by me and he goes, hey, you got your gear with you? I go, yeah, I do. He goes, go get it. Like, okay. So I go back and do ring crew. He comes back. He goes, what are you doing? I told you to go get your gear. I'm like, okay. So I went and got my gear and I did my chaotic match. And that's how I got into chaotic wrestling. And that is 100% a true story.
Wow.
I'm
Is
not
there?
trying to throw anybody under the
Yeah.
bus. I'm just telling a true story.
Well, I don't know if you remember this. Last summer when I made my chaotic wrestling debut, you were like the first person to come up to me and said something like you deserve to be here or something. So coming from you, man, thank you for everything.
Yeah, man, I tell you, chaotic is awesome
Mm,
because I'm into a company that nobody could get into years ago. Ask JT Dunn.
yeah.
You couldn't get in there. I couldn't get in there. I got in there because two people, and one of them's a very close friend of mine. His name's Rich Palladino, and the other person that helped me get in there. I'm not saying he's the guy that was at the show, but his name's Brian Malonis. He also
Nice.
helped me get.
Yeah.
And they're two guys I consider friends and two guys that I've learned a lot about this business from.
Nice. So when you
Yeah.
first started going to chaotic to now, is there a big difference you think in the locker rooms? Because like you first said, when you first started going, it was basically like hate chaotic homegrown talent.
Yeah. Do I see it different now?
Yeah. Is there a
I, ju- I
difference?
just see I just see it growing into a different company. That's
Nice.
all. I see it being more like back then they had, I mean, if you were a star in New England, you were at Chaotic Wrestling.
Hmm.
And now don't get me wrong, it's still a great company. It's a tight locker room. It's just, there's only so much talent. You need outside talent to make things happen,
Yeah.
But Chaotic Wrestling is a great place. It's the
Yeah.
home of the champions. There's a lot of pro wrestling schools in New England. But I'll tell you what, if you want to look at a pro wrestling school, right? You want to look at a wrestling school, you want to look at a place that has a locker room, you want to look at a place that has a full gym facility, New England Pro Wrestling Academy is the place to be. And let's be honest, you will not find a place in New England that's been around longer, except for Top Rope, but you won't find the lineage
Yeah.
at New England Pro Wrestling Academy anyplace
Yeah.
else.
That the coaches that the net was absolutely stacked. I'm waiting for the day that Kevin Quinn gets added to that roster.
You never know. You
Yeah.
never know.
Is there a chaotic match or moment that stands out to you?
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of them. There's one. I'm bad with dates, so
that's
excuse
fine.
me. It was a match with Chase Del Monte and Dijak. And I'm telling you, I don't know if it was 20 seconds into the match. Dijak hit Chase with the trash can. May have hit him with the wrong side of it.
Yeah,
And Chase I literally went over to Chase. I said, dude, you are bleeding like a stuck pig. He's like, what? And he went like this and whoop. So they went outside and they worked. And the owner at the time, Jamie J. Mikowski, who I owe a lot to, I
yeah,
owe a very big thank you. He used to always come on, he'd look at me like, are they okay? Are they okay? And Chase didn't listen to referees that well. He didn't like referees. So I went over to him. He said, don't even tell me to take it home. I ain't doing it. So, and there's so many moments. I
yeah,
mean, I was lucky enough to work with Dijak there. I probably took the worst bump from him ever. I tried to take his finish. I screwed it all up, and it was just great times there, man. Great
nice.
times there. Yeah, there's so many matches there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. Oh, excuse me. When JT Dunn won the fourth
nice.
chaotic title, he's the first one to ever do it. When I put that, he had it in his hand, and I ripped it out of his hand because I was so excited. He looked at me, and I put it around his waist like that belongs on your waist, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
For you
Yeah,
personally, what was it like to be a part of this past Cold Fury for Chaotic Wrestling? Obviously, packed house, and to see what Chaotic Wrestling has built.
just 10 out of 10. I
Yeah,
mean, more than that, because
yeah.
I had to go back and like look at it because I'm getting older. There was five title changes, and I think I did three of them.
Wow,
Like it was insane.
nice.
And I got to tell you too, we use headsets, and I used to be not the biggest fan of them,
Yep.
but I got to tell you, if you want to run a real wrestling company, put headsets in your ref's ears.
Nice. When
I
you
don't
talk
know.
about your career, another company I want to ask you about Northeast Wrestling. So I'm curious for you. These opportunities happen in unique ways. What was this one?
This one was a little bit different too. The ref who was there was having a blowout with the owner, Mike Lombardi.
Okay.
I got a text from Matt Taven asking me if I was available, and I said yes, and he sent me an address. Then I got a call from Steve Ricard, who I used to work with a lot, and gave me an address and said show up. And I had no idea who Northeast Wrestling was because I was still new to the
Yeah.
business, and I got in there and We don't have enough time. This is like
Yeah.
the big dog, Northeast Wrestling, Mike Lombardi. The only thing I can say is a big thank you. Some of my biggest matches in my career came there. Um, yeah, Northeast Wrestling. It's
I
also I think it's one of the largest independent wrestling companies in the country too.
yeah.
And I don't know how he does it, but if you ever notice when the people get released from WWE, they go there first every single time.
Yeah.
That's when I got to work with Braun Strowman.
I was gonna ask you, I hate asking the same things, but Northeast Wrestling, the relationships that you get to build and the people you get to ref for, is there one or two that stands out?
But Northeast Wrestling,
Yeah.
oh heck yeah. Matt
Yeah.
Taven is probably one of my favorite people there,
Nice.
Ron Zombie. But as far as matches, I mean,
Oh
we're
yeah.
talking we're talking Cody Rhodes and Kurt Angle in a steel cage match, man.
Insane.
Insane is right, dude. I walked out of the curtain and I went like this and I froze. I was like, there was like 2,500 people there, and any ref who ever has been in a steel cage, the hardest part for a ref is getting in the ring because the way that the door's set up, and I mean, you got
Yeah.
to really contort. So I'm in there and I'm nervous as heck, man, right? Because I'm in front of all these people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Cody Rhodes and Kurt Angle, right? Let me
Yeah.
say that again. Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle in a steel
Insane.
cage. Now Cody comes in and and he walked by me. He goes, "Are you nervous?" I said, "Dude, I'm scared shit." And he goes, "It makes two of us." And so we're just doing our thing. Kurt Angle comes in and I'm looking at Kurt and I'm like, and I'm standing over there and the ring announcer comes in. I'm like, this is surreal. Like,
Yeah.
this is really happening. And like, the match went and then the match ended and Cody won because Angle had him in an ankle lock, and Cody's boot came off because Cody unzipped it, so it came off. And he's looking at me. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
And the best part was walking to the back and getting the feedback. I asked Kurt Angle, is everything okay? He turned around. He goes, "That was awesome." So here's a little fun fact.
Hmm.
Okay, Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes have wrestled 3 times in their career. That's it,
Okay.
3 times. I've been lucky enough to do 2 of them,
Nice.
and the third one happened in England, right? And if you go back and look at the match, the guy's my doppelganger, the same guy, all guy just like me. So after the match, the cage match, I was talking, and I think they actually wrestled one more time at a Northeast at an outdoor show.
Okay.
But after the outdoor show, I was walking to the back with him with Kurt, and he goes, "You refed all 3 of our matches, man." And I said, "No, I didn't do your England match." He turned around and goes, "Yes, you did." I go, "With all due respect, I didn't." So we get in the locker room and he's like, Cody, he goes to Cody, he goes, "He reffed all 3 of our matches, right?" And Cody's like, "No, he didn't do the one in England." He goes, "Are you sure?" So Cody pulled it up and Kurt's like this. He's like, "Damn, man, is that like your brother?"
Wow.
But just to talk to a guy like
Yeah.
Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes was, and just a real quick story. I got to travel with Cody Rhodes for a day he was at Chaotic Wrestling.
Nice.
So I got to take him tanning. I took him to the gym, and you laugh at this, right? So I'm doing back in the gym, right? He comes over, he taps me on the shoulder, and I go, "What's up?" He goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm working out." He goes, "We got a show tonight." I said, "No, I know." He goes, "Show day. You're a ref. That's what they see." So I switched to arms now. Every time before a show, I do arm day, and it's because of him.
Wow. I'm curious when you talk about interactions with wrestlers, is there one or two that like blew your mind that you got to have an experience or an interaction with?
Kenny Omega,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I worked with Kenny Omega and Ray Phoenix. I got to know the Lucha Brothers very well.
Nice.
But the interactions with Kenny Omega was really cool because Kenny Omega is like I mean, no pun intended, he's a mega star.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to take a picture with him, but I was nervous. And I went over to Ray Phoenix and I said, "Hey man, can you help me out? I want to take a picture with him." "Ah, Poppy, come on." He walks over and he said something to Kenny in Spanish. And Kenny said, "Come here, man."
Nice.
So he gets the kick. "Go give me that camera," like
Yeah.
this. And so the funny thing is Kenny's used to a 20 count because of Japan.
Yeah.
So he asked me before the match, he's like, "Don't count me out." So there was a spot where I was literally at 9. And he comes over to like up on the ring. He goes, "Dude, stop counting, like for real." I go, "You better get back in here." And so we got to the back, and the
Nice.
feedback he gave me was a fist bump.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
When I talk Kevin Quinn's career, your resume goes and goes for every the top company in New England. So I'm curious for you. You were a part of what was it, the early days of Limitless Wrestling?
I was, yes, I was the first person to hold up the Limitless World Heavyweight title.
Wow.
with MJF.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of matches with Limitless. It's funny, I got two bookings on the same day. So I started with Beyond Wrestling and Limitless Wrestling on the same day. They both had, excuse me, Beyond Wrestling had a huge taping at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, and Randy Carver Jr. was the ring announcer. So after about five matches, he comes over to me, he goes, "Hey man, I run a company up in Maine called Limitless Wrestling. I'd love to have you come up."
Wow.
So I started working there, and I raised quite a few Vacation Land Cups. I was the first one to raise the World Heavyweight title, and then all of a sudden he started stop booking me, and I
Wow.
don't know. So I found out that they wanted to use local refs, and but it was funny. I started stopped getting booked for Beyond. I started getting booked there, so I'm not sure. But as far as I'm concerned, it's their loss. So
Yeah. So when you
yeah.
talk companies, this one's crazy. GCW.
GCW, now check this out, right?
Uh,
I know Nick Gage very well, right? And I
okay.
know Brett Lauderdale very well because Brett Lauderdale was a ref before he was a promoter.
That's right.
And
Wow.
I did a show with him down in New Jersey at GCW, JCW.
Probably JCW. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I met him, right? So, funny fact, right? Next time they go to Japan, guess who's going with them? Me.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but so. They needed a ref for something. I don't even remember how I got the booking, to be
Mhm.
quite honest with you. But I got to work with Alec Price and Nick Wayne. Now, this is when Nick Wayne was just like coming up. And I went up to him and I go, "Dude, what's your name?" And he goes, "Nick Wayne." I go, "How old are you?" He goes, 17. I go, "What?"
Yeah.
I go, "Holy sugar, man, you
Yeah.
are a star." But this is a little fun
Yeah.
story. The Fat Music Hall has a private locker room upstairs.
Yeah.
So they're taking me upstairs. They go, "You can't go in there, but I just want you to go in and talk to a few people." And I'm saying to myself, "Okay, whatever. It's a new company, whatever." I've been there for years, so I knew all about the locker room.
Yeah.
So I walked by Nick Gage and I fist bump him because I know him.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden he goes, "Yo, bro, get over here." Gives me a big hug and like he's like, "This is my boy." And dude, Chris, like everybody changed. "Hey, how you doing, man? How
Nice.
you doing?" So I'll make it. I'll put it right out here on your show. I want to go back to work for excuse me, for JCW. Don't
Nice.
say CCW. That's a
Yeah.
mistake.
Do you have any other Nick Gage stories to say now? How did your friendship start with him?
But just from Beyond Wrestling, I
Nice.
got hurt a couple times, and he walked over to me. He goes, "You're weak,"
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I did a crazy ass match with him and Chris Statlander, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was at American Run. I get my dates
Yeah.
mixed up. But I just ref for Nick Gage a lot. And I used to try to enforce the rules with him. And one day he's like, "Listen, man, there ain't no effing rules when I'm in them." So we just had a good working,
Nice.
thing, you know.
I'm curious for you. How was the pandemic for you, especially being involved in wrestling?
The pandemic, believe it or not, three people reached out to me. That's about it.
Hmm.
That's the thing about wrestling, man, is like it, there's not a lot of friends,
Hmm.
there's really not. But I still worked a lot. I did a lot of shows at the New England Pro Wrestling
That's right.
Academy.
Yeah.
Didn't get paid. But I did a lot of them. We did them with this in front of the students, then in front of some fans. So I did a lot of that. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like it was crazy to go there and ref and have matches in front of nobody.
Hmm.
Just for content for them to keep going.
Yeah. I'm
You
curious for
know,
you because people are still waiting on it. Do you have any insider scoop on anything with virtual basement?
you know, no. I dropped the ball on that originally
Okay.
because I was away when they were doing the thing, doing all the stuff. But
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say 20. What were you announced during COVID?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's like I still am in touch with them. Like, so I don't know. I'll be straight with it. I don't know what's going on with
Yeah, I
it.
don't think
But
anybody
I did
does.
sign a I did sign a contract, so
Nice. So
I don't
Sunday we'll
know.
be able to play as Kevin Quinn a wrestling game.
I think you can find Kevin Quinn in Fire Pro.
No. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I'm old, so is Fire
Yeah,
Pro, does that sound right?
that sounds about right. Yeah, somebody probably
You
made
can
the whole
find
roster or something.
They made me, I know that.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm curious for you when you ref in pro wrestling, how big is the difference for refing for like wrestling with character?
Oh, Yeah,
Yeah.
well, refing with character. Do you know who Ref Jasper is?
No, what? No.
That that's my gimmick.
Oh,
I
okay,
do,
okay, okay. Was that your
yeah,
inspiration, or is that somebody came to you for that one?
a little bit of both. I'm very close friends with the guy that owns it.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, that was pretty much all him.
Nice.
He wanted to do something different. But you know what's funny? You're gonna laugh at this one.
Okay.
So we had all this time to figure out a ref name, right? Like however long they were putting the show together. So we got there, and I said to Kurt, I go, "What's my ref name?" He goes, "Shit." And I go, "I don't want that name." And he goes, "John Roy, what do we call Quinn as the ref?" He goes, "Oh, he's Jasper." And it
Wow.
worked. Yeah, it clicked. That I have so much fun.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, they love me there.
Nice.
I get to have naps, I get to walk up ladders, and I get to yeah, but as far as reffing, that's not reffing. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say, how
it,
different is the atmosphere? Because you have a whole half hour pre-show interacting with the crowd and everything, and then the
well,
wrestling show, and it's like a lot of the guys that you know, but in completely different versions.
100% different than a
Yeah.
regular wrestling show. And that's the whole concept of it. And let me tell you something. If you, they pay well. Let me
Mhm.
make that perfectly clear. They pay better than a normal, like,
Yeah.
wrestler, referee, if you will. But if you leave there and, like, you're not just laughing and happy, then it's you.
Yeah. Is
You know,
there a
because
moment or memory that sticks out so far there?
there, oh
Yeah.
man, yeah. I started, I was in a match with Ryan Clancy, right? Now, this is us looking at each other
Yeah.
right now. All of a sudden I said, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not taking this anymore. And if you don't stop, I'm gonna disqualify you. I go, get away from me. And I said, you better be listening to me when I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And I turned around and it was Jeff Josh was just a fun gimmick.
Yeah.
You know,
I,
there's no,
yeah.
the funny thing is, right? I'm the only guy on the show they don't give a script to, if you will. I just
Yeah.
do I do whatever I want. Dude, I took a nap in the middle of a match.
I love it.
Like yeah, I just fall asleep. It's like, you better get out of that corner.
Yeah.
Just fun.
So Kevin Quinn, do you have any Logan Brothers stories that stick out?
I do have some Logan Brothers stories. It's been told to me many times that they used to use powder, but I never once saw the powder. And the Logan brothers, I'll tell you what, they were very good to Ref Quinn. They helped mentor me when I was in my beginning stages. I had a drop down problem, and they were the ones that fixed it.
Oh,
And the thing about them is there's a lot of people in New England that call themselves veterans, but those guys are true veterans. And I'll throw this out there. We're all in the sober club together.
nice.
Yeah. Those are some of my favorite people. I love those guys like my brothers.
Nice. I'm curious, when you look back at your career, who would you say are Kevin Quinn's biggest mentors?
Oh, I actually wrote that down so I wouldn't mess it up. Um, I mean, without Jason Rumble, none of this would be possible.
Mhm.
And Bo Douglas was my first trainer who taught me the ins and the outs of wrestling, taught me the basics, taught me the do's and the don'ts. And I love Bo Douglas like a brother.
Mhm.
Brian Fury was my trainer. Brian was awesome. But let me tell you something. He didn't give me any special treatment because I was older. Matter of fact, he was probably hotter on me.
Wow.
He worked me and he got me in shape and he was real and he taught me a lot of the good stuff. John Walters, who's a chaotic Hall of Famer, we're probably two of the most miserable people in the business, but we're in the same room. It's just he's the easiest guy in the world to talk to, and
Nice.
he's got so much experience. Um, Mike Lombardi, huge mentor of
Nice.
mine, huge mentor. Matt Taven is a huge mentor. Um, JT Dunn, I've learned a lot from,
Yeah.
and Dijak is probably one of the biggest ones. And we can't forget Anthony Green.
Nice.
Anthony Green got me my first booking, and Anthony Green is a very good friend of mine. And one of my favorite things in the world about Anthony Green is all of his stardom, all of his Japan, all of the stuff he's done. He's still aging.
Nice. What is the biggest lesson you learned from either if it's Bo or Fury?
This is the wrestling business, and if I had listened to Fury, maybe I would have went a little further.
Mm.
You got to be a little selfish in this business, and
Yeah.
sometimes you got to do things, and I just I don't know. Like the biggest things that they taught me was just how to be a professional and just how to stay out of trouble, I guess. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And I did look at it. I wasn't prepared for that
Yeah.
one.
When you look at your career, if someone was to ask you one in specific or a few, is there any matches that you'd say define your career as a referee?
Define, I think they all define. I think every
Okay.
time you get in the ring, it defines you. But I mean, come on, man. I got to rev Kurt Angle, Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes in a steel cage. I did the second ever Young Bucks, oh my gosh, Hardy's match.
Nice.
Dijak's last indie match, he actually did a bowl match after, but his last indie match for Beyond,
Hmm.
I refed Christian Castanova's first match out of wrestling school and his last match at Chaotic. I
Wow.
mean, there's so many of them, man.
Yeah.
I mean, JT, there's so many.
Yeah. I want to ask you about a certain individual because when I just interviewed him, we talked about you for a while. Do you have any Ref Bill stories?
Ref Bill.
He's at
Yes, he's
American
old.
Rana. He was going to jump in for a little bit.
Oh, I wish he did. He's
Yeah.
older than me. He's older than me. Uh, I love Bill. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, Bill started out and Bill paved his own way. Bill is actually, I think he just turned 60. And Bill does ring crew. Bill works his day double crooked letter off. Bill's
Mm.
probably I consider myself one of the nicest guys in this business, and he's right there beside me. Yeah, Bill is
Nice.
effing awesome.
Yeah. When you talk pro wrestling, you got to travel all over. Is there one or two venues that stick out that you got to perform in?
Yeah, I would say the Spartansburg Arena, and I'm gonna leave that
Nice.
alone. I'm gonna leave that alone now because I know there's another question coming that
Yeah.
I'll get more into that. Uh Northeast Wrestling used to wrestle or have shows at the Bethany Town Hall.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I love that arena. The Mid Hudson Civic Center, awesome. The Woburn Elks, the
Yeah.
Chaotic was there for years. There's something about the vibe. And then there's the Fete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are just a few.
Yeah. When you look at your career, do you have any moments as a referee or even being involved in wrestling that you would consider your biggest test?
My biggest test. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
You got me. My biggest test. My biggest test is learning how to take bumps the right way.
Okay.
I think that's probably the biggest thing, and I'm just not good at it
Oh,
because you got to remember, you're teaching a mid 50-year-old guy how to, like, I'm not supposed to know how to fall. You know what
mhm.
I mean? I learned to stand up when you're old. I don't know. You got me on that one,
Yeah.
man.
When you talk
Well,
ref bumps, is there one that stands out to you?
that's why I didn't go back into the
Yeah.
Spartansburg Arena one, okay? So I did a show down in Spartansburg. I think it's North Carolina. I'm not sure if it's North or South. But
Yeah.
anyway, Spartansburg Arena. It was for big time wrestling. It was the champ Flex Armstrong versus Big Van Vader.
I love it.
So somebody was taking the Vader bomb that night, and it wasn't the champ. So guess who took it?
Yeah.
Me. And that's a true story. So I took it. And they told me I had to take it. And I'm like, I'm not taking it. You're not here. I know I've watched wrestling for years. It's a 400-pound guy.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, you got to take it. So I was young, so I just agreed, whatever. So I talked to him and he told me, he goes, here's the deal, bro. He goes, I'm gonna pick you up and literally drop me. And he literally dropped me. And he's like, don't move. So he went up and I know he does the 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
He came down, I braced myself and I was like, I'm like, oh. Okay. And the one thing that he told me, he said, do not move until they come get you. And I don't care if you're here until tomorrow. So,
Wow.
dude, I didn't move and it felt like forever.
Hmm.
Finally, somebody came and got me. We went in the back. I got through the curtain. He was waiting for me with the promoter. He goes, just tell me you're okay. I go, I'm fine. All right, kid, sit down. He goes,
Nice.
have a beer. I go, I don't drink. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
that was probably the wildest ref bump.
How did your opportunity with big time start?
Uh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Um, Steve Perkins really took good care of me.
Nice.
Um, not to get into this too much, but let's just say that big time wrestling and Northeast wrestling may not get along the
Okay. Yeah.
greatest, let's just say.
Yeah.
Um, and I met Steve through someone, I think.
Nice.
And I tell you, I got a lot of great opportunities with him. I got to travel all over the country with them. I
Mhm.
drove the ring truck. I'll tell you a real quick story. You want to hear this one?
Yeah.
I drove the ring truck back from I forget where we were, maybe North Carolina or something, and I had
Yeah.
400 ring chairs in the back. So I get in Maryland, now all of a sudden the truck.
Is it just you in the truck?
No, it's me and some other lazy guy from
Okay.
Rhode Island. I can't think of his name right
Yeah.
now. But anyway, the transmission blows, right? Long story short, I call Steve. This is 3 in the morning. I
Hmm.
call Steve. He goes, just tell me you're okay. I go, I'm okay. And I told him what happened. And we had the people come out. They got us a new rental truck, right? So now I had to take the 400 chairs out of that truck, put them in that truck, right? Now I
Yeah.
had to drive all the way to Lynn, Mass, where the warehouse was. And guess what? Had to take those 400 chairs out again and put them in the warehouse. So that's why I hate folding chairs.
Yeah. So what were they? Just on a bunch of racks?
They were just literally one by one stacked in the truck.
Wow. When you
Yeah.
look at your career, you've got to ref for some of the best. For you personally, is there any memorable moments that stick out right off the rip?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kenny Omega, Ray Phoenix, Cody Rhodes, Kurt Angle,
Nice.
Dijak, Casanova, JT, Orange Cassidy. I did a massive main event. He's canceled now, so I'll leave his name out of it, not to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah.
Versus Joey Janela. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Chris Dickinson, any match he was in. But lately, it's been chaotic. Anytime I'm going to be 60 years old in
Wow.
October, right? So this is how I look at it, Chris, and I'm telling you this sincerely from the heart. Every time that I get to walk into a wrestling show right now and then walk out that ramp and go up into that ring, I am one lucky guy.
Yeah. Well, I said it too. Even when I did New England Fan Fest, when I was helping Joe Bruin, I was telling my dad, like, Joe told us we could meet some of the stars, but the highlight for me was seeing you. I think you were working like Dana Brooks' table or something that
I,
year.
oh, I was, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good table.
Yeah. I'm curious for you to talk about chaotic wrestling, everything you're doing nowadays. Is there any goals in wrestling or you just love doing pro wrestling?
I love doing it, and it's funny because like I said, I'm gonna be 60 and I'm taking care of some family issues in Florida, so my availability is
Yeah.
kind of not too good right now. But my goal, I want to go back to GCW. I want to do some work with them. I want to work with them. And you know who else I want to work with? A good friend of mine, Danny DeMonto.
Nice.
If he's going to probably see this, I want to come back and work for him.
Yeah.
Um, I don't care. I'll get hit with a light bulb,
I was gonna
but
ask you, you big deathmatch guy.
I'm not really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a huge Matt Tremont guy. I
Yeah.
know him very, very well from the Beyond days early on. And I always used to ask him, I go, dude, what are you doing? He goes, this shit's easier than wrestling, man. But yeah, I would love to get back into it.
Nice.
I'd like to have a match too. I've always wanted to have one match. And I mean, I'm not a wrestler, so that's why I stay out of things because guys like me that don't know, I mean, I know what I'm doing, but I don't.
Yeah.
That's how people get hurt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But if there's a promoter that, we'll let him get a show of
I'm curious,
tonight.
was
But
there an idea ever coming close for you to have a match?
yes, yes, actually, I was supposed to have a match years ago. You ready for this one?
Oh yeah.
AR Fox, AR Fox.
Wow.
So AR Fox and I had a big rivalry in Beyond Wrestling. Matter of fact, he got me suspended because he goaded me and I ended up hitting him.
Mm.
And he went to hit me and I blocked it and I hit him. So then they bring out and they suspend me. And not only that, they took the ref shirt right off my back. So
Wow.
yeah, Fox, if you're out there and you want some of this, let's go.
I love it. I love it. Kevin Quinn, you are one of my favorite people in wrestling. I want to thank you for joining me. However, I've ended every interview the same now. The day we decide it's finally done in wrestling, which isn't happening anytime soon, but the day we decide it's all done, what do you want Kevin Quinn's legacy in pro wrestling to be?
I just want them to when they say my name, I just want it to be respected.
Nice.
And I just want people to know like he was a good ref. He was one of the best refs in New England. What I really want is just people to remember me and just everybody that I've gotten the chance to work with. I want to say thank you. And before we end, I just want to say a very special thank you to Mike Lombardi for NEW for letting me still be a part of the shows at 59 years old.
Yeah.
And again, Chase Del Monte for letting me be part of the show at my age. Very appreciative, very happy. Yeah, if it ended tomorrow, which it's not, but
No.
if it did, dude, it's nothing but bright lights and sunshine, you
Nice.
know? Dude, I've been so excited for this. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I say it all the time. When I was going to shows at like 12 years old, like going to school the next day, like nobody was a wrestling fan. So I would try to tell everyone, like, yo, I was going to these shows. Kevin Quinn was wrestling. Like, people didn't care about me. So, man, thank you for everything.
You're welcome. I appreciate it very much so.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin, for doing this. And thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. This was Best for Business.
Thank you for watching this episode of Best for Business. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, because this is Best for Business.